Weaving through 29 Chicago neighborhoods, elite runners from around the world compete to break the tape first in today's Bank of America Chicago Marathon. Mo Farah returns to defend his 2018 title, while 2017 champ Galen Rupp challenges his pursuit for a repeat. Last year's women's champion Brigid Kosgei will have to fight off challengers Jordan Hesse and Betsy Sena to command the top of the podium. With U.S. Paralympic qualifications on the line, American push rim superstars Tatiana McFadden and defending Chicago champion Daniel Romanchuk look to qualify for the 2020 Tokyo Paralympics. Next on the 42nd running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon. NBC Sports welcomes you to the Bank of America Chicago Marathon, presented by Olympic Channel, home of Team USA. The eyes of the road racing world now firmly in Chicago, Illinois for the 2019 Bank of America Chicago Marathon. Conditions for the 45,000 participants and along with the elite runners looking pretty good by racing condition standards. Low 40s to begin the day. We'll be watching that wind all day long. Supposed to get a little gustier right now at 9 miles per hour, but everyone expecting good racing conditions for this 2019 edition. Here now to the streets of Chicago, the 2019 Chicago Marathon, 26.2 miles ahead for these elite runners. And could we now see one of the fastest marathons ever run by a female marathoner, Brigid Kosgei, thinking a possible run at Paula Radcliffe's course record here of 2:17:18. Should she get under that, an extra $75,000 bonus along with her winner's check of $100,000. 26.2 miles to the finish. We're at the start and about ready to run. And we are underway. 42nd edition of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon is underway. .23.5 minutes into the elite race at the 2019 Bank of America Chicago Marathon. Brigid Kosgei with the benefit of those two pace setters in front of her as we went to break, reflecting on that scorching first 5K she ran, 15:28. Amazingly fast. And Josh already talking about, has she gone out too fast?
Well, that's really the question. 15:28, that's 2:10:32 marathon pace. And when we did get that shot of the U.S. men's pack behind her and her pacemakers, I knew that these guys were running too fast. I'm hoping that they settle in and don't ruin this for her by going out too hard. Course record there, 2:17:18. I'd venture to guess that 15:28 split is the fastest 5K split in women's marathon history. It's just wild. We don't have Walt Murphy here with us fact-checking me, but certainly that's unfathomable, and I hope that they back it off, because even Paula Radcliffe in her world record run did not go out that fast. She hit 10K in 32:01, which was very aggressive. That was sub 2:15 type running. She's certainly very fit as we see her cross the 8K mark right at 5 miles now. If they don't back it off before this 10K, it's kind of your bet is made and let's just see what happens. But certainly if they continue to press and these splits continue to go the way that they are going, we could see a major upset in this event.
Well, a lot of people behind her that were all feeling that they had a good shot at least just being on the podium. But we'll have to monitor what Kosgei does here. Still very early on in this marathon. The elite men started at the same moment as the elite women. So they're about 26 minutes now out on the course. Dixon Shumba, 2015 Chicago champion, still tucked behind those pace setters. Dennis Cometto, the former world record holder with the course record, 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 45 seconds, a $75,000 bonus available to any elite runner on the men's or women's side to get under the current course record. So projected now to finish at about 2:05:40. So inside of 4 minutes to run now as they gear up. And here's where potentially some experience comes into advantage. We heard Manuela Schär talk about it in the context of the push rims. That last little rise over the bridge before that left turn to home is something you really need to anticipate.
Who has enough juice left to close this thing out? I'm surprised that none of these men have tried to separate and make any sort of move. We have 4 together for 3 podium spots. This is very, very rare.
Well, Cherono was in the midst of a battle on the streets of Boston back in April when he took home the title. Now you see Kuroki putting on a little insertion of pace here, and now the race to the finish line has begun. Benon Kuroki, who faded last year and finished in 9th, has decided to start his surge to the finish, and it's been covered by all 3 of the others, DeBella, Cherono, and Mengtsu.
And this is truly surprising from DeBella. The other 3 guys, sure, they've all been there. They've all done this. DeBella having the race of his life. He's not going anywhere. Kuroki has tried to stretch it out. Still looks comfortable. Cherono looks easy, though. Look at him there on the left. DeBella still checking his watch. I don't know why. It's not about the time now. It's about this competition. Mengtsu is there. But it's DeBella. As they come up on one of the wheelchair athletes.
And making that turn onto the bridge.
This is a tough spot where you do have this uphill, this incline. This is the spot to make the move, and Kuroki's going for it. But it's DeBella. Shocking to say the least. Mengtsu is there. He is really grinding.
Now you can get a good sense of that elevation that they have to cover here in the last stages of the race. Once they crest that hill, again, they'll make the right turn for home with a little over 100 meters left in this race. It has all come down to a final stretch as DeBella, Cherono, and Mengtsu now the 3 in the mix.
And look at those flags, Paul. You can really see the wind and how it's playing a factor. Cherono, will we see him with another close finish down the home stretch?
He has now moved to the lead ahead of DeBella. Cherono trying for the 2nd consecutive time to win an Abbott World Marathon Majors, outlasting a very close competition sprint to the finish.
Give him a big hand!
And it'll be Lawrence Cherono winning in Chicago.
Winner!
A win in Boston in the spring, a win in Chicago in the fall. Lawrence Cherono once again proving that he is a championship racer. He can get it done on the tough course, the hilly course, the strength course, and he can get it done on this speed course like we have here in Chicago. An amazing race, 4 men all together into the final home straight. But just like we saw in Boston, Cherono got it done.
2:05:45, unofficially the winning time for Lawrence Cherono. DeBella will finish in second, a new lifetime best for him unofficially, 2:05:46, just 1 second separating these top 2 finishers in Chicago. Bensu would finish in third, another 2 seconds behind in 2:05:48, and Kuroki, better finish than a year ago, but will wind up 4th in 2:05:53. But here is the story now. Brigid Kosgei, and you can see it on her face. She has put together an epic race to this point. She is now without the benefit of the pace setter, Josh Cox, and she came through 40 kilometers, still about a minute ahead of world record pace, but now she's got to do it alone.
Paul, that record from Paula Radcliffe has been untouchable. It has been deemed the record of records in athletics, in track and field, in road racing. No one has come close. But Brigid Kosgei, last year here in Chicago, won this race in 2:18:35. An amazing performance, put her in some rarefied air. Then this spring, what she did in London, not only did she run 2:18:20, that is very impressive, but it's the way in which she accomplished it. She ran 66:42 on the back half. At that point, everyone starts to talk. Is this possible? Could she go after Paula's record? She's not only going after it, she's going to shatter this, Paul.
Again, the mark that stood since 2003, 2:15:25. So now has 3 minutes to reach the finish line as she makes this penultimate turn now, as she has to crest this final hill. She knows what's in front of her. She's been on this race course before, a winner here a year ago. Much of the narrative coming into this race was really the focus on another Paula Radcliffe record, a time that stood as the world record, 2:17:18 in 2002, that is now the course record. But this day, after an impressive and very brisk first 5K, the question became, was it sustainable? She backed off on that pace, but it kind of set the tone and set her pacing, and from that point on, she has been unstoppable. She crests the final hill.
You see her coming up on Alex Monroe, representing Roots, running out of Colorado. He's an American development athlete, running very well. And you talk about leaps in performance. 2:18:20 is fast. She's looking to have a 4-minute personal best here, Paul.
Well, on a weekend where we saw the first man in history run faster than 2 hours, now on a record-eligible course here in Chicago, Brigid Kosgei will defend her Chicago Marathon Championship and shatter the world record in the marathon.
Chicago!
Brigid Kosgei, the 25-year-old Kenyan, has shattered a marathon record that many deemed untouchable. Kerry Pinkowski, the race director there in his 30th year, celebrating Brigid Kosgei's amazing performance, unreal performance, particularly after that first 5K. 2:10 marathon pace, closing it out and running 2:14.
Unbeatable this year, and she certainly has. She won the London Marathon earlier this year. year, of course, she's the defending Chicago Marathon champion. And she...
Well, I'm just sitting there and watching the clock too, Josh, and maybe the statement that's made is we haven't even reached the time that Paula Radcliffe ran, 2:15:25. That clock's still going.
And we probably won't for several minutes now. No one even close to
2:14:04.
Oh my goodness. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable performance to echo the man on the PA. We've never seen anything close to this. As we see Paula Radcliffe.
Mayor, this is the former world record holder, Paula Radcliffe. She held the record. This is the record holder.
Well, that's always a tough moment for a record holder to have to congratulate the one who broke her, but what a phenomenal 16-year run it has been for Paula Radcliffe, both as the world record holder, had the course record dating back to the previous year in 2002, and now Brigid Kosgei, pending ratification, will be the world record holder in the women's marathon.